Alright guys, welcome back to Mr. Post Frame. On today's show we're going to be putting up side steel and getting this building wrapped up. But during the process of this building we did not have one entire week where we were able to work all 5 days just with, we had a tornado come through, we had lots of thunderstorms, high winds. That's just part of building. We faced a lot of challenges, but we got through it and we're wrapping this building up as we speak. So let's go ahead and get into the final video. I'm good here, Jake. Okay. Let me put a screw in and then... Yeah, I mean, I'm good. Yeah. So I have my measurements right here, and as we put a piece up, I asked Jake if we're still good at the top. If he says yes, he might, we just leave it. If he says I add an eighth or take an eighth away, I adjust it. So our starting is 185 and 5/8. This is a 412 roof pitch. So I got to add 12 inches of this. So it's 197 and 5/8. So that's my starting, that's my ending. The thing you have to keep in mind is you are rising a foot over 36 inches. So if you mark on the edge over here and the edge over there, you're gonna be off. So I mark on my overlap, my starting, and then at 36 inches is right here. So that's where my second mark will go. And then I just line it up with straight edge. Good. Yeah, let me know what you're running, sir. Okay. Right? Yep. So these screws I use, they're little trim screws. You can get them whatever color you want. I order them through Menards. We'll leave a link to them. I like these versus nails because if you need to get them out, they're really easy to get out. Trimming out these garage doors, and the way we're doing it on this one, and this is I think this is a really good DIY way to do it because you're not really having to worry about where the ribs are. Ideally you don't want them in J trim, but the way I'm doing this gives you that ability to just run your steel and cut it where it lies. So we got this is like an L10 trim. So it trims out the inside jamb of the garage door and extends 4 inches over. Then a 1/2 inch in, we'll set a J trim. So that's what we just did, marked a plumb line. And we'll run a bead of silicone on the back side of that J trim and then nail it into here. Then we can just run our steel right up in there. Just a little bit easier way to do it. There are some trims that will come out and go over your steel, and I think that looks real nice, but it's a little more difficult because you got to make sure your layout is just perfect. So just a quick tip on that. All right, so that's it. So all you have to do when your child, your wife, or even you run into the corner of your garage door is take your first panel loose, pop this out, and then you can replace all this trim pretty easily. But if you're like me, that's definitely going to happen. Money. Alright, so all we have is these two long sidewalls to do, but we have all the trims are up, except for the ones above the garage door. We've plumbed up our first piece. We're level and plumbed. Now we just got to run these across, so hopefully we can get some of this done. Get it 2 days, hopefully we can be done with all this. Be done with this building.
Good? Yep. You're gonna hand me your drill again. Good? Yep.
It's a little afternoon. We're finally at the job site. It stopped raining. However, all this upper blocket came loose. Had kind of like a 70-mile-an-hour straight line wind, which actually I'm surprised is still up there at all. So we got to fix that. And then we got to try to navigate all this mud and get some steel up. We got to finish this this week, hopefully. But always something. All right, we got corner trims and the ridge cap is all we got left. Ridge cap should be done, but we have had gale force winds and lots of rain, so typically it would be done by now, but that's gonna be the last thing we do. So I'm gonna put this corner trim on, and this double angle here is a bigger angle, so that corner trim just slides up underneath, which makes it really nice, and then the top one just sets on it. Versus some double angles you'll see you have to kind of notch around because it doesn't stick out far enough for it to go under. So that's one nice thing about this bigger double angle. So this should be just the same as wainscot, 36 inches. So let's go cut one 36 inches, leave the finished edge on the bottom. I will buy these pieces long enough that they go from top to bottom, and then where I cut them, I just make sure the finished edge is sitting on the bottom trim, and then the top part of the corner is sitting on the double angle. That way your finished edges is what you see. That's it. And then you just make sure it's running even with your ribs and screw it in. I gave my good bit to the new guy. This stuff sticks, it sticks. So maybe we should come on up. I'm ready to that. Now remember, we're going to do like a 6-inch overlap, so just come back a couple to make sure we have enough room. Alright guys, we appreciate you watching this series. Again, this was a 60 by 80 14-foot sidewalls. The family that we built this for is super awesome. They actually have their own YouTube channel. We'll put a little link in the bottom right now, so if you want to follow, they're going to finish the inside of this themselves. They're going to put a little living quarters in it. If you want to follow that, you can check that out on their channel. But if you guys would be interested in what like material costs would be for a building like this, leave a comment. I'm happy to do a cost video for materials for a building like this in today's prices. Also, we'll drop a full time lapse on this building. I always think those are kind of cool. I'm sure my cameraman Justin won't mind doing that. They're a real pain, but they're sweet. But as always, we appreciate you guys watching. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Don't forget, if you want to self-build your own post frame home, we have a Patreon where we cover different topics every month that will help you do that and achieve that. So that's what our channel is all about, is to helping you build your dream. Also, we have design services. Reach out to us at design@mrpostframe.com. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next series.